Vicky has joined the meeting.
Good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, it's Craig.
Hey, Craig, it's Vicky. I'm doing computer to listen and phone to talk.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
Good
that's the
morning.
echo. I'm sorry.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning. Kim, how's the weather in Florida?
Beautiful. It's like 85.
Holy crap.
I know, right?
Holy crap. Did you go to the beach?
I did. He's on the phone. I did.
You did? Good for
I
you.
did. I went down to South Beach.
Oh, good. So,
Hey guys, it's Joel.
what's up, Joe Gilly?
Good morning.
Hey, I just want to let everybody know we are streaming this since this is a public meeting on YouTube, so everything is up and running now. So just note that, and you may want to let everybody else know when they join up that it's being streamed out to YouTube.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
John Sherman Best
has joined the meeting.
Morning, John.
Morning.
Hey, it's Craig. Hey, Joel wanted me to remind everybody that this will be on YouTube. So we're being taped on since it's an open meeting, we'll be taped on everything that'll be said.
Okay.
Okay.
Craig,
Yeah.
What format are we going by? How's our agenda going?
I am not sure. This is not the privatization discussion, is it? This is the facilities discussion, right?
That's what.
This is for privatization.
Oh, this is privatization. Oh, I thought this was.
Let's see if
I
can
thought it
they,
was
I don't know if they can
privatization.
hear us. Audio settings.
I thought
You're using computer for audio.
I thought it was facilities.
Cortina Hamilton
has joined the meeting.
I thought they added all. They gave us the information a little late. I thought it was total.
No, don't ask me. I'm very confused. Let me check my calendar.
This is Allison. Can y'all hear us?
Hey, Allison.
Yes.
Hi. I've got Chris Gurley and Borden and Parker in here. Don't know why I use last names. Just on one of each. Let's see here.
Okay. Is that all we have? Hello?
Mr. Best, I don't know if anybody else is joining or not. This is
Okay. Nobody else is joining. We don't have enough.
Chris just said that Miss Acock's not going to be able to join us.
She will be able to or won't be able to.
Chris was thinking she is not going to be able to join us.
What about Mr. Spivey?
Mr. Spivey?
Who's just down, who's the last 4 digits, 57, who is that? Who's the last 4 digits, 57? Telephone number.
That's me, Mr. Gurley. I used the computer so I could hear y'all and the phone so I could interact with you.
I got you. So, John, yours, the last 4 is 14, right?
Yes.
So we can't have a meeting unless Keith or Mr. Parker's here.
1514 is my last 4 digits.
Meeting, you just can't vote on it. Yeah, we can talk, but we just can't, yeah.
I can't hardly hear you.
So you could have a meeting, you just can't vote on anything if you don't have a quorum.
So it doesn't look like we have a quorum right now.
Right, is there any way we could get Barbara on the phone?
No, she had an appointment.
Yeah, she got a dental appointment. Let me see if I can get her on the phone. She didn't answer. All right, we can discuss whatever, and then we can try to get her on the phone to vote.
All right.
So does he bring the meeting to order or not?
Reconvene.
Yeah. Even though we
Do
don't
I need to bring the meeting to order?
Yes, sir. You reconvene the recessed meeting.
I want to reconvene the recess meeting at this time.
Volume 1.
I don't know how to.
Volume come up on that.
Well, when I did it, it changed the microphone. Let me try.
I can't hardly hear you.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Does that make any difference at all?
A little bit.
John.
Yes.
Yeah.
Turn the volume up on that.
It takes my mic maybe.
There you go. John.
I can't hardly hear you.
How about now? Can you hear us now?
I can hear you better now.
Okay. All right. My question is, what is the actual dollar figure? It's got it on, I think it's FY 22 CSE actual data. Is that what we've actually paid out? Actual paid out with 13 or 15 or whatever employees we've had? Is that what we paid out to date, per se? Or through the 20th?
Yes, sir.
That's actual money.
Yes, sir, that data was taken from Munis.
Okay. All right, so I understand how we get reimbursed. If the contract with whoever we choose is, and I'm just gonna use even numbers, is $2 million. And it shows on here that our actual cost, I think, last year or year before, whatever, was like 2.8 on actual cost. How do we, our reimbursement will be based on the 2 million, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if we budget for 27 people and it's I'm just using a number, I don't know, I ain't got it in front of me, $2.8 million. And we but the actual money, if it's all said and done, is 1.8. We get reimbursed on the 1.8, correct?
Yes, sir, we get reimbursed only for what we actually spend and what we submit for reimbursement.
Okay, so the last, where's that, where's that data at on the last, which, let me think, I'm trying to find the data that she sent yesterday. Is that the one that shows the, okay, let's see. Yeah, the cost of the vendor comparison. All right, so
Yes,
it's, yeah, this is on the, yeah. So that being,
Sir?
that number of 2.8 million is based on 27 employees, correct?
Yes, sir, for a 17-month period. I set up that spreadsheet to match their time frame.
So the next one down would be for a year, would be for 12 months.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the actual numbers right now, we're running what?
Currently, we have 15 employees. And the data, I'm trying to pull up the actual tab.
So that number on that same spreadsheet, the second, that was sent out yet, I read this morning. Yesterday, the second spreadsheet where it says comparison. So that number, that 947,312 is for 27 employees. Is that correct?
Which tab are you on, sir?
Oh, it's the one that's got 4 sheets, but there's really not but 2 sheets that's got anything on them. It's the email that was sent to Noel sent out, and then Cheryl sent it out this morning at 8:36.
Okay.
It says CNC comparison.
I think it's the first sheet, it's the first page.
Yes,
No,
sir.
it's
I
actually
couldn't understand what your question was, but I'll try to explain.
What I'm asking is on that second sheet or third sheet on that, where it says 947,312. That's based on 27 employees, not 15, correct?
Yes, sir.
So that's not actual numbers that we've actually spent. Is that
The
right?
one that had the actual data in it was sent last week.
Chris, this is Noelle. She's referring to the first email that was sent out.
I'm trying to find it. When was it sent? Do you know?
I believe 12/22. The year-to-date actual data, that what we had spent through December the 20th was, $731,136 from July 1st, 2021 through December the 20th, 2021. That was using our current staff levels and current expenditures.
So, okay, so 7, what'd you say?
For a 6-month period this year with actual staffing, on that tab, it was $731,136. So then I just estimated using that number at our current staffing, what we would spend for a 12-month period, which annualized out to $1.4 million.
Okay. So it's gonna cost us about $400,000 the first year then, round figures.
476. If using actual data,
Right.
it's about 476 on the county.
But you got to look at, and this is Kim, you got to look at if you have more staff, which is what they're anticipating, you'll draw down more money. So you can't actually look at that number. You're basing it off of what we currently have. But if they come in and they actually staff that number, you'll be able to pull down more.
21 people. So what is the money gonna be on 21 people? Based on, you're saying that, I mean, if it was us, what would the money be for 21 people? So we can compare apples to apples. I can tell you that's what we're gonna get asked from other commissioners. If it's 20,
I would have to do a worksheet on that, because I did it based on what our actual approved budget was and our current staffing. And then I used the numbers they gave for their staffing level.
But we also have to remember they're trying to make a profit. So they do have probably 10 to 15% of profit in that.
And plus, their fringe costs are probably lower than ours because they're not dealing with a retirement, and maybe their health insurance plans are different. I mean, there's bound to be some variables in their fringe costs.
You know, the health insurance for Young and Williams was different than ours. The benefits of Young and Williams was way less than ours.
Vicki, when you're budgeting for the year, typically you're still budgeting. I mean, I know what we typically do is budget for all 27 positions, correct?
Yes, ma'am. The state requires us to budget for our approved positions.
Okay.
Unless we decide to put them on hold or delete them.
So from a budgetary standpoint, going with either company is going to be less dollars because we've been budgeting for 27 positions.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but from an actual standpoint, and I think what Mr. Gurley is wanting to know is if you were to take your total cost on the actual data, which is for about 15 people, and take that on a per person basis and then multiply that out times 21 people, then he wants to see how that cost compares to the 21 people that Veritas is projecting. But I mean, like Craig said, you're going to have some differentials, like, you know, their profit margin and benefits and things like that. But I did want to point out that from a budgetary standpoint, either company is going to be sort of a cost savings, if you will, just because we will not be budgeting as much for the department in total.
Yeah, but on the very end, I understand what you're saying about budgeting.
Right.
The bottom line is we got to figure out how much it's going to cost, how much more it's going to cost the county to be able to sell it to the other commissioners. That's going to be the issue.
But will we have to go back to the state to get the number of positions reduced?
No, they're not gonna be your positions. They're not gonna be your positions.
So if I'm,
Would the number of positions just be in the contract?
Yes, sir. That's my understanding from reading the RFP. They've given an estimated staffing level, and they could adjust it based on a need, but I think the first 3 years would be at that existing staffing level, unless I missed something in their verbiage.
They're less than what we budgeted for, right?
Yes, sir. That's depending on Veritas versus Young Williams. There would be let's see, Young and Williams was 18, so that's what, 9 less than what we have, or with Veritas 21, that's 6 less.
So back to what she said, at full staffing, we'd be less than what we budgeted for anyway. Well then, we the company.
I'm doing some figuring. Hold on a minute. And I know this is just arbitrary. What I was doing is just taking the 21 people, and I think Young and Williams, everybody's, I mean, it's apparent that DSS staff wants Veritas. So I'm not even talking about Young and Williams.
Okay.
So 21 employees at $1.8 million that's 17 months. So wait a minute, I did that wrong.
Horton, could we negotiate the number of employees down with Veritas?
I think you could. I think, what's gonna happen, however, is that they're gonna have to go in and see. Both of the groups, as I understand it, think that we've got too many cases that are open that should be closed. And if you close them, then you ought to be able to do with less staff. Although one of the problems is just like with, Child Protective Services, you can have one family that's got a whole lot of problems and another with just one child and another one with 6 children with almost no problems. And it's hard to look at the actual case to know how much trouble that particular case is.
And another cost you can reduce if we are privatizing is your operating expenses would change, and you'd also remove that indirect cost. We added that to capture every possible cost and get reimbursement for it. But we don't, by operating expenses, we don't break them out by program. So that's an estimate.
Vicki, to capture the reimbursement would be fairly simple with the contract, wouldn't it?
Yes, sir. I tried to do that on the comparisons where I pulled the numbers that they gave in their RFP. So you could just apply 66%
Right.
to that to get an idea.
Right.
Or
So
34%.
go back and do as detailed a cost analysis as you've had in the past.
Say again, sir?
You wouldn't have to go back and do as detailed a reimbursement request as you had in the past.
No, sir. Are you asking how, as an agency, we would submit to get reimbursed?
Oh, no, I'm just saying with the contract, it should be easier.
Yes, sir. It's basically like you would an invoice for any situation. I would enter it, just that one number.
All right, and I know this is just, you don't figure it exactly like this, but I'm just kind of going as an overall employee versus the bottom line number. On the 17-month deal, where the Veritas is 1.818, the actual cost per employee would be the what now?
I said the actual cost of the employee.
Be 61,129, and I know that's taking everything, I guess, based on what little bit of knowledge I got about how these numbers are configured. That's on that. It is costing the county 75,407.67. So when it's all said and done, it's for a 12-month period in that first line for a 12-month period, it's gonna cost us within 1.283,719, and it's costing us with the county running it based on make sure I did that right. If we had the same amount of employees at 21, it would still cost the county $1,583,000. So it's going to be a $300,000 difference between the county numbers with staff and the privatizing with staff. If these numbers is 1.818 and the 2.8 with 17 months, I just divided it by 17 and then you multiplied it by 12 to come up with a yearly cost.
Would it be easier to go down to the second one, which is just a regular 12-month period?
So you're talking about 2.3.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that's the next year though, right? Don't they go up?
I just used the cost we had. Their cost,
Don't they go up like 9% or 10% or something like that? Or based on, where did I see that at?
I think that was Young Williams.
Oh, was it Young
That
Williams?
was
Okay.
automatic.
Well, so you're saying that the 12-month period. Well, my numbers don't match up to that either. The 2.3 million. 6.
where I got that cost estimate was from fiscal year 1920, and I pulled our actual data from Munis, or whatever our general ledger was, Munis, Gems. Then I added in the indirect costs and the overall operating expenses estimate. That's where I got that 2.3 for just a full 12-month period. I think it's the second page on your handout.
Vicki, won't you still, if they are using the, our office building over here that 4D's using now, won't you still be able to get indirect costs on that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If they're not paying us anything, and apparently, and they won't be in that first scenario, we could still, may have to make some adjustments depending on how they do the deputies. But the utilities, the building value, whatever's rolled into that indirect cost plan, Allison might could answer that better than I could, but yes, sir, we could still get a portion of that.
Mr. Girl,
Yeah,
If
I'm
this is
just sitting
what
here
you're-
doing the numbers on the $2.3 million.
and you
Oh, that's
divide it by
second line,
27 employees?
Yeah, that's 86,898.
Correct.
You times it by 21, that's actually 1.824 million.
Correct. That's where I was headed.
Yeah. So it's actually costing us $500,000 more on the second year.
Yes, sir. Like I said, I use past year's data, and each year our operating costs change because of the changes in salaries and fringes. So the cost of it has increased over the period of time I used for an example.
But the 2.346 million is actual cost. Is actually what the bottom line at the end of the year, that's what it cost us last year. Is that right or wrong?
I think that's right. I pulled it. I can't remember if I got it from the approved budget or the actual budget.
Now I'm talking about what it actual cost. I'm not talking about the budget part. I'm talking about what the actual cost was. I mean, cause just like this 1.818, I guess that's gonna be a set thing. Is that right, Mr. Gordon? Is that gonna be a set figure at 1.8 million for the 17 months?
Yes.
So
yes, sir. That was on the fixed fee based in the RFP.
Okay, so you go down to the 12-month deal, the $2.3 million. That's actual. What you're saying is that's actual money. So how many employees was that based on?
I have to go back and look, sir.
Everything would have been based off of the 27 employees. That 2.346, is that what you're referring to?
Yes. So, but what I'm asking, so that's the reason I'm asking this question again. So I was told that we're not reimbursed on anything except for what we use. So if we haven't had, as long as I've been on that board, we ain't had a full staff in that area. So I'm just trying to get an idea of the 27 employees. I mean, if we had 15 or if we had 18, that number, we didn't get it reimbursed on the $2.3 million. I'm trying to get an idea of what actual cost is going to be at the end of the day.
So
And I guess we'll be doing the 21 employees.
looking at that,
What's she saying? Are you, we can't hear anything you're saying up here. You're breaking up.
I'm sorry. If we're looking at that, I divided that.
I mean, what you saying?
She divided it by 27.
Yeah, but
And then I did, so they gave the $86,000 per employee. So if we did that by the 21 of what Veritas is estimating the amount of employees we would have, that would get us at 1.8.
I understand that, but is it the 86.9 basically? Is that what it is? Regardless if we've got 15 employees or 27 employees, that's exactly what that number is going to be. I mean, what I'm saying is budget numbers is one thing, and realistic. I mean, and end of the year numbers is another. And end of the year number is going to be $1.8 million, or end of 17 months is going to be 1.8 million with this contract coming. We're talking about two different things here. Government budget and things one thing, but actual contract stuff. I mean, when you sign a contract, that's it. I mean, it's not like coming back and get more money, and that's what I'm kind of getting. I'm confused on this $2.3 million. I think it's based on 27 employees, but we've not had 27 employees. So you're saying that that number should actually be 1.824 million.
I'm just doing a rough cost of dividing that by 27 employees.
Right. Okay.
Mr. Gurley, I pulled up Munis and I only got as far as 2020 actual, and this is just rough cost on just salaries and fringe and no other cost. We actually spent, minus 4 clerical positions, 1.17 million just in salaries and fringe with actual staffing numbers. And then I'm trying to add up the rest of the numbers.
Okay.
So, like I said, I had to go to 2020 because that was the quickest one I could pull up.
That's fine. We'll just that way we kind of get a number that we're to go. Huh?
Still adding. Just roughly, I mean, I pulled the actual data and I put, I couldn't find the actual indirect cost, so I used the current years. And then the operating cost, I came up with $1,710,336 with, that would have been with 15 employees.
That's was the 1.8 million. So that's round figures. That's close.
Yeah, that's.
Because all we do, yeah, 'cause the other stuff is going to kind of fluctuate.
Right. And again, I think we can negotiate the number down of employees.
He thinks you can negotiate a number down.
Well, negotiate it with who?
Veritas.
Well, they got.
If they're saying 21 and
Well,
Young Williams says 18, and we've done it with 15.
Well, so we're doing it with 15.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We should be able to negotiate that number down, especially if like Borden said, there's a lot of outstanding cases that should be closed.
But here's what they're going to tell you is, and I've heard about these, the ranking numbers is what we're after. Where that, if you get $200 a month and somebody pays 201, then that makes your rankings go up because you've gone against your arrears or whatever that is. So, so they're going to say, well, look, if we go down on our employees, then we can't guarantee X. So we're right back. We just, and all you're doing is giving them an out. I mean, I'm just kind of, I don't know. I'm just
we're looking at cutting costs.
Well, my end of the day, and I say my end of the day, Joe's bent my ear about this. At the end of the day, we want to make sure that we're saving money, or we want to know what it's going to cost us one way or the other.
I don't know if the argument would be saving money. It really is also about having a better service.
Oh, I agree. I agree with that. But I'm just saying I got to be able to make sure I explain it to him, and I'm not explaining it wrong.
Right.
That's the reason I wanted apples to apples. Right. If it's 21 employees, what we're going to go with, then I want to know exactly what it's cost us for 21 employees. And I pretty much done the numbers myself based on and it come up with about round figures about what Ms. Vicky come up with a while ago for 2020. Which is about, actually, that's more. Hold on a minute.
Allison, I just went to the Munis budget page and pulled up where it's got the actuals for 2020, and that's where I pulled those numbers.
Yeah, and what you came up with, Vicky, is very close to what I came up with. So,
and I threw in just an operating cost estimate and the indirect costs that we attribute to child support.
Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty good estimate.
Now it just makes me, and don't ever tell anybody I said this, that I appreciate Munis.
Will you tell Janice that?
No, I will not.
All right, I'm just trying to get to the number. So we're apples to apples, and it's about, based on what it's going to be pretty much a wash. We're not really actual numbers. We're not saving anything. It may end up costing us $150,000, which is fine for that matter.
Right, and I think Kim will be happy with taking that out of her salary to get rid of child support.
That's what I think. Part of what you're going to be saving is the work on the director having to go there and be there all the time, and that being child support problem will not be your problem,
right,
or her problem. Right. It's going to be their problem.
All right, so are we saying that it's going to cost us about 100? I mean, overall, when it's all said and done, maybe $150,000, $200,000 at the most.
If we're going with the raw data from 2020, I would say yes.
This is the only time Craig's been quiet.
Again, I don't have my calculator in front of me.
You don't have it in front of you.
No, I got the
You
sheet.
take a picture of it, you take a picture of it, send it to you.
I'm coming up with about 152.
All right,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
But again, I think the intangibles with the contract is where this is a positive for us.
well, I agree. I agree on the positive part. I'm just trying to make sure we're numbers that the numbers are skewed, with that 17-month deal up there with the with the 27 employees, and they're gonna have 21. I mean, we got to do numbers. Trying to get Miss Barbara on the phone, but I don't think she's gonna answer.
Can you reach Mr. Spivey on the phone?
I ain't got his phone number.
Kim, you're cutting out.
Get in contact with him. He was getting ready to get on the phone and he had emergency. I wish.
Everybody's breaking up now.
Mr. Spot.
Allison, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Vicky, but Kim's breaking up.
Kim.
Out to get up. He had an emergency, so wasn't able to jump on.
Okay.
Wherever you are, Kim, stay right there and don't move.
Exactly.
It froze. It wouldn't let me unmute and talk. You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
So we can't do anything until we get. Now I tried Miss Barbara again. She didn't answer.
Did you say Mr. Spivey we couldn't even get him on the phone?
He was getting ready to get on the line, and then he had an emergency at work. So he wasn't able to jump on.
You're still breaking up again, Kim.
Florida.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, you halfway to the Bahamas.
Hello.
Hello.
Allison, I just sent you a text to just ask about updating something.
Uh-huh.
There.
Can you read that?
Let me see here. Hang on a second. I don't see it yet, Vicky.
Okay. Did you get your text yet, Allison?
Okay, yes, I got it.
That's 15. Huh? I still say we got to build a building based on the other building, based on what everybody with that in.
With child support in
We
it.
need to base. We need to build
With child support in it.
Yes. Yeah.
Agreed.
Just because I mean, I foresee this, I foresee this right here. This number's gonna keep going up. It's gonna become cost prohibitive to do it unless we stay on top of them. That's private business. I mean, you're in it to make money. So, you start out low and keep getting increases or keep renegotiating. And that's how you stay in business. I mean, I'm just.
Well, yes, because like on Young Williams, their percentage rate was fixed, but they had a 3% COLA every year in the contract, which upped the annual cost, even though the percentage remained the same.
All right, I got that, Kim. He said give him about 10 minutes. He's gonna try to get on.
Are we waiting on someone?
Yeah, we're waiting on Spivey to try to get on the call. Kim sent me a text and said that give him about 10 minutes. I tried Miss Barbara, but evidently she's in the dental chair.
I think Kim's trying to sign back on. I don't know if she's back in yet or not.
I can't hardly hear her anyway.
has joined the meeting.
Hello?
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 Hey, Kim.
Okay, I'm back. I
Yay!
tried 10 devices to get back in.
Well, you sound great.
So how's the weather in the Bahamas?
I wish.
What'd she say?
She said, I wish.
Well, you halfway there, ain't you?
Halfway.
That's a short boat ride from Florida. Especially
Okay, I'm
doing a
sorry.
fast
Was
boat.
there a question that I missed?
Yeah, I asked you how was the weather in Bahamas.
I wish. I said I wish. I wish I was there. But I'm not.
We're waiting on Keith see if he can get on here.
Okay. For the record, for the five devices that's sitting in front of me, none of them would connect.
What'd you say?
I say for the record, for the five devices that I have sitting in front of me, from a phone, iPad, computer, none of them would connect.
Well, that sounds like you're in a remote area.
That's why a landline is an amazing tool.
So,
participant has joined the meeting.
Hello.
Someone just joined?
Kate. Kate.
Hello, this is Mr. Spivey.
All right, here.
Morning.
Spivey.
How you doing?
Good, we hope you are.
Yes, I am. I got a little bit of a break, so what do you need from me?
Mrs. Spivey, thank you so much for jumping up here. There are several people on the phone. Everybody was waiting. Mr. Gurley, Mr. Beshik, the Parker, several other people are on the line. Mr. Gurley?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll let you guys take it away.
That's John's demand.
Bring up the speed. You're trying to decide if you're going to do Did you get any emails? Mr. Spivey. Yes, sir. You get any emails? Yes, I have. Have you had a chance to read them? Yes, I have.
What's your opinion?
I think we should move forward.
With which one do you think?
Which group do you think? You got me at a rock and a hard place right now, because I don't have the information right in front of me.
All right, I make a motion that we go with Veritas.
Second. I have a motion to duly been second. Are you ready for? Do you have any discussion?
Yeah, I just want to make it based on our figures. It looks like it's going to cost us about $150,000 to $200,000 more than what it's costing us now, based on the 21 employees. That's what it looks like to us. But that being said, I mean, it's, you know, we're gonna have to just stay on top of it because it's gonna keep edging up, I think. And we need to do some negotiating on the actual space for them to try to keep the cost down as much as possible. So I just so what is the start date on this?
Supposed to be February 1.
So February 1 would be the start date. And if the DSS board approves it today, then it will be on our agenda on Tuesday of next week for the commissioners.
Chris, could we also put in there to negotiate the number of employees?
You know, I don't know about shaving them. I mean, we're doing it. We're doing it we're doing it to try to provide a better service. And I feel like if we do a whole lot of trying to cut something on employees, I think we're going to probably bite ourselves in the rear. But either way, that goes back into the negotiating stages.
Right.
I mean, we're doing with 15 now, but what I understand, we ain't doing what we're supposed to be doing. You know, 27 employees. You know, we've never been, as long as I've been around, we've not been staffed with 27 employees. And sounds like that we can supposedly can do the job better, or can do the job just as efficiently with 21 as we could with 27. So.
Well, with that, I would think that whoever gets the contract will be more inclined to make sure that they do it with 21, because that's a win-win for them.
Well, their contract is based on 21 people is what they give us a contract for. But bear in mind this crowd. I mean, they're private business. They're in the business to make money, and if they're not going to make money, they're not going to continue to do the job either. So we got to kind of come up with a happy medium what we're comfortable with spending.
Okay, so the motion and the second is for the. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Are you ready for the vote?
Yes.
All in favor of going with Veritas and privatization of aye. Ayes have it, the motion carries.
All right, thank y'all. And look, as of I guess this is our last meeting before the end of the year. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. What I've been told, this will be my last meeting for this. I will be replaced by somebody else, and because they think my services are needed on another board. So I've enjoyed serving, but but if you need something, you just give me a call.
Sure will.
Thank you, sir.
All right, y'all take care.
All right. Thank you, guys.
We're going to adjourn the meeting.
Is anybody gonna call Veritas to